Hello, 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 Beat Baseball World. Welcome back to the Beat Ball Blues Show, where you are fortunate enough to spend time with me, Neil D-A-W-D, and Seth Bam. What else, that dog?
Hey, Neil, how's it going? Putting that deep voice on. I realize that's how broadcasters have to speak. Deep.
They are the ones that get the big money.
Learned that from you and Night Train, man. So, got to put that big boy voice on. Hello, Neil. How are you doing?
If you could carry out a deep voice all the time, man, you'd be like working the PA at a football game or something.
I could do whatever all the time, Neil Dog. I have the power. What's up?
Not much. We're gonna highlight another tournament.
Man. Another tournament doesn't ever stop.
It's not going to. We got next weekend. We got the Indy Thunder Bonanza, and then the following weekend we got the Bolingbrook tournament. Man, the two outside the World Series, the two largest tournaments are going back to back. So we have a lot of baseball coverage to be hitting over the next few weeks, and we're gonna start.
Hold on.
Wow.
I like that verbal play. We have a lot of beat ball coverage to be hitting over the next 2 weeks. I like it, Neil Dog. You are mixing in your word play with the content of the show, man. You're picking up your game, Neil Dog. I love it.
I guess I could truly say, no pun intended. Normally, when people say no pun intended, I don't know why they say it, because the pun was like, brawn in a big picture. Make sure you don't miss it. No pun intended. But I didn't even catch that pun, so there was no pun intended. So.
As Fraser Crane said, no pun intended. I'm sure none noticed.
It was by you, though. It was by you. But we are bringing back into the show longtime friend of TBBS to help us highlight the Indy Thunder Bonanza. Who else to cover the Bonanza but Booker, man, the Bookman.
Ooh, DB, we got DB on the show. DB, what's up, DB? What's up, my little brother? What's happening?
Wrong DB.
Oh,
our man Darnell Booker, the first vice president of the National Beat Baseball Association. What's up, Book?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you. I never thought I would talk to the first vice president of the NBBA. I thought that person was dead and gone by now. But here you are, Darnell Booker, our vice president.
Yeah. I'm here, man. I'm not going nowhere no time soon, fellas.
Oh, what?
I'm sure that we will tap into all of that, but I was gonna point out that, man, this guy Book, he's working 2 jobs today. He's shuffling all kinds of stuff, and he's fitting us in on his lunch break, and we sit here and ramble on for 20 minutes before we even get him in, man. So apologies.
He signed up. He knew what to do. This ain't his first time in this rodeo. He knows how it be. It's our show, DB.
DB, where you come up with calling him DB?
Darnell Booker, man.
I know, but nobody's ever called him DB.
I don't know. I like just to roll with things once it gets with me. What was the other? The black turtle.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
That's Seth's nature, but it's all good.
That's who I be, there, Darnell.
Just be yourself, man.
So, Book, man, we'll cover a few things with you. We'll definitely, with you being first VP and in charge of the tournament committee, man, we'll talk about the upcoming Beat Baseball World Series, what's going on with that. But, man, first let's dive into this Bonanza. It's the 2022 Bonanza, which I believe is the 21st annual Bonanza. Man, is it going to be as big and great as all the others? You ready to rock?
Yeah. The 21st, man, we're legal. 21 years, this has been crazy, but it's going to be a great tournament. Looks like the weather outlook is going to be great. The fields are going to be nice. Everything is like clockwork because all of our sponsors are on board as they have been in the past.
Man, are you guys eating Outback Steakhouse again out at the field?
We're going to have it at either we're going to have it at the hotel or at the park.
Yeah, actually, I don't care where you eat it. You're eating free Outback Steakhouse again?
Yeah, it's because they're going to cater the meal. It's a full course meal: steak, chicken, mashed potato, salad, bread, the whole 9 yards. Man, they do a great job. And
that's killer.
So yeah, that's. I mean, then we. Yeah, they're just a great partner of ours, and like I said, our team, our organizations, we're fortunate to have great sponsors.
We'll dive into all the 8 teams that are going to be in a minute. I wanted to talk about the format from 2 standpoints. One thing that I like about your format, and I don't remember if this is the way you've always done it or if this was more of a recent change. But a lot of these tournaments, the majority of the games are played on Saturday with placement games on Sunday morning. But you're starting this tournament on Friday night. Everybody gets one game in on Friday night, and then the tournament finishes up on Saturday. Is this?
No,
I can't remember.
Everybody comes in on Friday. It's still Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
When I looked at the schedule on the MBBA thing, it had it starting, I thought, on Friday night at like 5 o'clock Eastern.
No, June 3rd through the 5th. Teams come in on Friday. We play 3 games on Saturday and the placement games on Sunday morning, and they all begin early at 8 o'clock, except the one game that's our television game starts at 8:10. So, but like I said, it's still all 3 games on Saturday and one game and placement games on Sunday. So
what tournament was it? Was it the Ames tournament that they started on Friday night? Okay, that tripped me up. I was whatever.
So, let's get it straight. We're all Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so do all of the teams play 3 games on Saturday or 4?
Yep, 3 games. 3? They play their bracket. Everybody plays everybody. There's an A bracket and a B bracket. Everybody plays everybody in their bracket, and then the top 2 teams, play Sunday morning. The A bracket winner plays the B bracket winner for first, and then 3rd, 5th, and 7th on Sunday morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then lay us out bracket A. Who are the 4 teams in bracket A?
Bracket A is the Thunder, the Comets, the Archers, and the Chaos.
And so bracket B.
Bracket B is the Edge, the Blackhawks, the Titans, and the Scrappers.
Oh, I thought the Jets were going to be there. I guess they're going to be at Brooklyn.
They're going to be in Chicago.
Okay.
And it's just Austin's the only one coming to Indy.
All right. So one more time to keep my head straight while we're going. In bracket A, we got the Thunder, the Comets,
the Archers, and the Chaos.
Archers and Chaos. Atlanta's there. Then the Edge, the Blackhawks.
The Scrappers and the Titans, New Jersey Titans.
Scrappers and the Titans. I'm glad the Titans are going to be there competing, but I was disappointed to hear that they're not going to be at the World Series this year.
Yeah, that's disappointing. But sometimes, if you don't have enough bodies or enough people, or people have lives and things, people are committed to other things. So at least, and then I think a lot of those guys that are still wanting to play have connected with some other teams,
Yeah, I know you understand what they've gone through a little stretch where they've lost some of their top players, but on top of that, some of the top players they still have, like Zach Turner and Bordley. I don't believe. Huh?
They have some commitments,
Yeah, they weren't going to be able to be there this year either. So it's like, oh man, that made it tough on them. So I hope to see them back. But I'm glad they're going to be in your tournament. Same thing with the Cleveland Scrappers. They're not going to be at the World Series, but that's a team, like you, Seth and I competed against for most of our lives. So it's cool to see them happening still.
Yeah, if you want to keep piggybacking on our tournament, well, there's a few things we're going to do different at our tournament. I know the Chaos did it, but we're using it for more data purposes. We're going to do the 3 strike, go to 3 strikes because they want more data. And So we're going to go that route.
Three strikes and one ball, or just 3 strikes?
So the count is 12. Your full count will be 12. A ball,
okay.
So if somebody wants to swing 3 times and they miss, then they're out. So your full count will be 12. Just to that
I'm glad to hear you say. Are you with us, Seth?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. No, it just been so quiet so long.
We're going to do
that we lost you.
For data purposes, and we know there's a rule out there that's being proposed, and I think, and as I see it, as I read a lot, but I know that everybody in the country, I mean, except I know the warmer teams like Texas and those guys, but all the teams that are north of Texas, everybody's in batting cages now, man. I mean, they are in the wintertime. So whether you are a new pitcher or a veteran pitcher, I mean, when I was in Atlanta, I went there just to help the chaos out, and I umpired, and I did the chaos and the heat, the chaos game. I mean, I think the chaos and the Archers game, and Mike Curtis being a fairly new pitcher, they fared well with the chaos. It was 16-13. They just couldn't hold the lead in the bottom of the 6th, so they pitched well with 3 strikes. These guys are stronger, faster, and these guys can hit, so they're putting in the time in the cages. So
am I to understand that you are a proponent of the 3 strikes rule? You don't think it will cause a major dip in the offensive output or anything like that?
No,
or where do you stand?
Not, because I'm for the 3 strikes, whether if it was me pitching or we have Jared. But if
I was gonna say, when you got Jared, it's easy to be in favor of it.
But what I'm saying, even if I was pitching, if something were to happen to Jared, I would have to step in, because you got to hone in on your craft, and you got to put the time in. And a lot of these guys are putting the time in. Like I said, Mike Curtis is putting the time in, and he's going to soak up a lot of sponge with Johnny Walker coming on and helping those guys out. But no, I'm like I said, even if I was a new team and that was in the game, I know what I have to work on, because I've been there and done that when I was with 4 strikes. I was struggling, but if you want to get good at something, you got to work on your craft. So I'm definitely for the 3 strikks.
And what do you think the effect will be, actually? Do you think the scores will go down? Do you think it won't affect the pitchers? Or do you think
it all depends on how seriously where you're playing and how the fields are. If there's, slow fields or fast fields, even with the 4 strikes when we played San Antonio last year, 8-7, those fields were definitely defensive fields. I'm not saying the score would have been 4-3 or 5-3. That was an exciting game with 4 strikes. With 3 strikes, I think you'll still have a cleaner game. I mean, people put it in play. It just depends on how the fields play. If I'm answering if you ask the question, it just depends on how the fields are, man, and where you're playing at, and weather conditions, and this, that, and the other. So, but because I was around, I'm sure you guys were around when it was 5 strikes.
Yeah, right. Two balls and 5 strikes.
Right, right. So
and when they wanted to change it to 1 and 4, the same arguments were made as far as, the upper echelon pitchers have no problem with it, and the lower echelon pitchers could use the extra strike. So
yeah,
that argument's always going to be there. What I liked about your answer is, you didn't say anything about it having an effect on lowering the scores. That's where people lose me on this argument. If they're arguing for it for lower scores, because if you want it because you think, that's just arguing that it's going to bring more strikeouts. If it's going to bring lower scores, it's because of more strikeouts. There's no other reason in my mind to equate that to lower scores. And your answer is like, yeah, that's going to depend on the fields.
Seriously, it's going to depend on
the same case with 4 strikes.
Yeah, it depends on the playing elements. Last Sunday when we played the Edge, that game took 3 hours. So 29-23, and then the ball took funny hops. Nothing. Just how the fields are playing, man. Fast fields, slow fields. If it's raining the day before, how the field dries, if it doesn't drain quickly. So all that comes into play. And then, like I said, but I think just to definitely cut down on the time too, it will speed the game up. But I still think, depending on how the playing elements are, I think when people adapt to it and get used to it, I don't think it'll be, as long as they can keep that pass ball in, because technically you still get 4 pitches if it's 12. So that when the full count is 12, it'll be,
I started to point this out earlier. I love that you're putting the ball first, because I listened to it, and I've noticed this around beat baseball forever, because we have, like, in regular baseball and softball, it's like there's more balls than strikes, or there can be. And the balls have always been called first, balls and strikes, balls and strikes. But in beat baseball, because there's always just been 1 or 2 balls and 4 or 5 strikes, sometimes people start putting the strike first. Now, I've noticed when I listen to a lot of these streams, it's all, after like 2, 3 strikes, like it's 3-0. It's like, no, it's not. It's 0-3. But so I personally like that you're getting it right, Book, and saying 1 and 2, not 2 and 1.
Right.
Hey, well, I have a question then. If it won't have any marketable change on the game, why do it? Right? If it's going to speed up the game, it's only going to speed up the game because there are more strikeouts. Right? If there's no effect for the game, right? Because I do think it would hopefully lower scores. We want to lower scores, and the only way to lower scores are to produce more outs, right? Since it's every at bat is either a run or an out. But if it's not going to do anything, why make the change?
Because to me, in my opinion, the athletes are stronger, faster, and they're better, and it's just like that's just me. The athletes, people that I speak with and talk to, and some of sponsors that see the game, they're like, these guys are amazing. These guys can hit. And I understand they get that 4th strike, but I think 3 strikes, it'll be like, again, a much cleaner game. And these guys, they want to get so much close to regular softball or baseball or whatever. I just think these guys are faster. Just like, why move from when there was 5 strikes? Why do we want to go down to 4 strikes? Well, we want you guys. In our era, we got better and we got stronger. We got faster. We didn't. You won't need that 5th strike. That 4th strike. Even with the new pitchers when I was coming in or whatever, you again just honing your skills, working on your craft as a pitcher, and working together as a team. I think these teams today, what upper echelon, middle of the road, all these teams, to me, they got 1 or 2 athletes or whatever, but then the whole team, they just are better athletes than what they were 15, 20 years ago. That's why I think it'll just showcase their skills more, in my opinion, and they know it's a pass and 2 strikes. Okay, we know we got to focus, and they all practice that, because people tell me they have been practicing the 3-strike rules in practice, and they're just a 3-strike, putting themselves in game situations, and then they'll carry over to the game. So I just think the athletes are stronger and faster, and they're a lot better now, and they can handle that.
With any of the rule changes over the years, when we went from 2 and 5 to 1 and 4, when we went from 90 feet bases to 100 feet bases, there's a lot of resistance, and with each case, once it moved on, like, there's hardly ever talk of going back. You know what I mean? So it does seem like it's tough to get one of these rules taking anything away or adding to anything. It's tough to get it changed. But once it changes, there's very little history, if any, of changing it back. So I don't know. I guess.
And I think we can adapt well to it. I think we can adapt once it changes. If it gets passed out of the committee and goes to the floor and everything, I think if it changes, I think we are a good organization that we can adapt to stuff. So it's been all our lives.
Am I remembering this right? Hasn't it gone to committee for like 5 or 6 straight years at this point?
Out of committee, I'm saying, when we pass, I think it has to pass out of the committee to go to the General Assembly or whatever. I think that's how it works, right?
Yeah, you're correct, but I haven't been there, so I'm not sure. Like, has it been going to committee and not getting out, or
right? Because it missed last year by a narrow vote.
Okay.
Okay. So hopefully, it'll each team delegate, or whatever they make up their mind, But if it gets out of the committee, then it goes to the General Assembly.
Hey, so zeroing back in on the Bonanza coming up, are there going to be one or two games on your regional sports network again?
Yes, we'll have a game on Saturday, and we'll have a game on Sunday, and it's yet to be determined who's going to be with those guys. So I got.
What do you mean in the booth? You mean?
Yeah, in the booth. Yeah, and I'll let you know, Neil, because you guys are my friends. So when it's if it, could be a surprise. I mean, we're just trying to figure it out because there's a lot going on, so we're trying to figure it out. So
well, it's only like a week out. I'm kind of offended that I haven't been offered a first class ticket. I'd ham it up for you. I could come ham it up for you.
But no, we should have something hammered out by midweek or something like that, and I'll shoot you a text or something and let you know what's going on, because I know you and Seth are really glued to the games and you watch them, and whoever is doing it, hopefully will do a good job, and we'll see what happens with it. But
what about the games themselves that will be televised? Are those already determined? I assume the championship game, no matter who's in it, or is that not the case? There's a game on Saturday that will be on the regional network, and one of the games on Sunday, correct?
Yeah, the ISC that we have a great partnership with ISC, so we have a game on Saturday, and the championship game will be televised on Sunday.
So the Saturday game, do you know what game that's going to be?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do know the game. Yes, it's going to be two historic organizations. I didn't know if you knew that. It's going to be the Thunder and the Comets.
Oh, all right.
Are they really historic, though?
Well, 20 years in the league, both teams have won World Series, of course, and
only because Chicago stole one from the Dogs. Oh, that's the only reason.
But there's a lot of history with the Comets and the Thunder, and and that's a really should be a really good TV broadcast game. And like I said, there's a lot of tradition and history there, especially being in this Beat Ball Bonanza world. Chicago's been with us for all 21 years.
I wouldn't have.
Where did you finish the first year? Where did the Thunder finish? Where did your team, whatever team you were associated with, when you put the Bonanza together, where did you guys finish in your first year?
It was a 4-team tournament, probably behind Chicago second, because it was Cleveland and it was Cleveland. Well, we had 4 teams, so it was the Thunder, Cleveland, Chicago, and Thunder, Cleveland, Chicago.
Yes, who would be the 4th team back then?
Maybe some years it was the Bluffs.
Hey, Neil, he was actually there, so we don't need your guess.
All right, fair enough.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead, Darnell.
We would be Chicago won a ton of our tournaments. Okay,
yeah, that's what I was wondering. How many you guys?
JT probably has about 10 trophies of the regional tournaments, and we probably have. Well, recently we've won the last 5, and then when I did pitch. In 2006, we won ones, and Cleveland has a couple. So, but we're still trying to catch up with JT.
That's where, in the end, I was going. I was wondering where you guys had finished historically in your own tournament.
Bridesmaids.
I think he did hit on the 4th team at the end. I bet it was the Bluffs, because they were still going at that point, just ahead of them getting
the Vipers, the Columbus Vipers were around too.
20 years ago?
No, they were. Yeah, they came to our.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So, but like I said, we usually finish the bridesmaids to Chicago, but we'll see what happens this year. But the last 5 years, we've definitely been in the winner's circle. Let's put it like that.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, and hold on! Breaking news! I am now a new. I'm a new uncle again. I have just received news that my niece has had a baby right now. So
you are now a grand uncle, Seta.
God, you're right.
You're a grand uncle for the first time, right?
No, 3rd time now. Third
Oh,
time.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, maybe even the fifth time. But
Oh, yeah, you know what? I did know that.
You did
like
know that.
your sisters.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
are all these are all Dana's kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
Yeah,
Alicia.
congratulations
You'll never
to the
see
Clark
it, man.
family. Everybody in Beat Baseball loves the Clark family.
Yes.
Dana and her kids been in a number of World Series. So.
Yes.
Going a little bit more about the tournament that's going to happen. We do for the second straight year. We're going to have prize money for the teams.
So
money?
How much money are you giving out?
We're giving out quite a bit. So
I don't want quite a bit, Darnell. You're here to answer questions. How much money are you giving to the teams? Don't throw it out if you ain't willing to say it.
It might be a surprise for the time. Like, you know what I mean?
Don't give him excuses, Neil Dog.
I'm not, but I listen. You don't listen to any of the ceremonies at the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
It's usually a big deal when they say, and to this team, you're getting $300. And then everybody, hey!
I mean, we're going to help. We're going to help. We're going to help all the 8 teams out. So we just got that yesterday.
Is it equal from top to bottom?
No, a little bit more for first place, but the 7 teams will get the same amount, but a little bit more for first place because we feel like they've worked hard all weekend, and they want to earn it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's everybody. It's just gonna be some for because I'm a competitor and everybody's competitive, so you want to give the first place winner a little bit more. So that's what's gonna happen. So we got
spectator prizes.
Oh, you and Seth, that when we get through with all the T-shirts, I'll get a T-shirt again.
So. Thank you.
Well, I got my T-shirt from Hitters and Heroes. So thank you.
Yeah, we're just gonna send you one. So no worries. So that'll be
appreciate that. I actually had it in my mind to wear my Bonanza shirt from last year on today's show, and I had it setting aside so long that I had forgotten what it was, and like literally just yesterday I've reached over and found this shirt sitting on my dresser. I'm like, why do I have that just sitting out? It's like, oh, forget, I'll just wear it. And I threw it on and wore it all day. And then when I was thinking about the show, it's like, you idiot. That's why that shirt was sitting there. So I couldn't put on a dirty shirt, Darnell. I just couldn't do it.
I understand. And I know it's very hard for a lot of the tournaments, and I'm sure JT's tournaments does it as well, but we're definitely going to have a home plate and a field umpire at all the games. So, I mean, that's because I just want to thank our organization. We will take care of all our officials, from umpires to scorekeepers. And we got some umpires that are coming from out of town. So I'd like to thank those guys for giving up their weekend and their time, but we will take care of those guys. So each game will have a home plate and a field umpire, because I know I experienced it in Atlanta for a little bit, and it's hard to see what's going on in the field when you don't have that field umpire.
So you were in Atlanta umpiring, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
dude, I was listening to the streams. I'm like, that sounds like Buck up there umpiring.
Yeah,
dude, you can't see good enough to umpire. What are you doing?
I did fine, man. I did absolutely, because I put myself in the position to make the plays. You got to move as an umpire. You just can't stand at the plate when it hits. You got to put yourself in a good position, but it is hard.
That's funny. I talked myself out of it, Buck. I'm like, God, that sounds so much like Darnell. That umpire sounds a lot like Buck.
And you know what? All the games flowed very nicely. But it is hard. So we'll have both a home and field umpires, and we're, like I said, we'll compensate those guys. We're going to take care of the officials and things like that. And yeah, we just got a lot of nice things for those guys that they gave up their time. So we got like great sponsorship that's going to also present those guys with a nice goodie bag token of appreciation. So it's going to be worth those guys coming over and giving up their time. So
circling back real quick to the shirts you brought up, if listeners or people checking out the show want to get a shirt from your tournament, can they reach out to the Thunder and get hooked up?
Usually we give enough for the teams. If we have some left over, they can reach out to me. If I have some left over, I'll let them know.
Well, I didn't know if you sold them at the tournament.
No, we don't. We didn't.
Okay.
We don't sell them. So
okay, that's fair.
we give a lot to our volunteers, whether, we just, leftovers or whatever. We give a lot to our volunteers, our teams, we try to, we don't do any selling of our t-shirts.
Okay. No, it's cool that you give a shirt to all the teams and volunteers.
Yeah.
It's classy stuff, Book.
Yeah.
So let's circle around to the World Series tournament, man. Since you're in charge, you're the tournament chair, man. Is there anything like I don't know, any kind of update on the tournament itself you want to throw out to people? Things they could look for that might be different. A little spin you're putting on as first VP.
I'd like to thank the city of Beaumont and Freddie Willard. She's going to have a little entertainment at the opening ceremonies. We just found out today. And I think also after the banquet, we may have a little entertainment as well. We'll follow up with that next month. So, it's not just when the banquet is over with, we may have a little entertainment, a little band or something of that sort.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that you've been pushing for like maybe a DJ or a band.
Yeah, strippers. You bringing strippers, Darnell? You bringing strippers down there, Darnell?
Come on, Seth.
I know, dude. So politically incorrect.
So no.
I'm sorry. I always make Neil uncomfortable when I'm.
We're just gonna have a couple hours of entertainment, definitely at the opening ceremonies and perhaps after the banquet, just to kind of put a little twist on the banquet, because Freddie had asked me, well, do you guys do anything after the banquet? No, I mean, we just kind of have our banquet and everybody just kind of hangs out, chills, and socialize. But she said, would you guys like to have a little something after the banquet, a little celebration? I'm like, yeah, whatever you guys think is best. So that would be great,
Every one of us want a little something after the banquet, usually. What that is probably changes from team to team.
I wasn't going to say anything, Neil Dog.
You drug me in, man. The mob mentality.
Other than the World Series is going pretty smoothly.
Can you give us a teaser on? Because you said you just found out about something at the opening ceremonies. Can you give us a little teaser?
Just told me she just said there was some entertainment or something. She didn't elaborate on it, so we'll probably know next month or something like that. But just some, definitely she's gonna have some types of foods there for us, and just some type of entertainment after we do the opening ceremonies. And I think it's after, because I think the long ball competition is going to be on during that Monday, and the fastest man, fastest woman competition is going to be that day. But somewhere after that, how we're going to squeeze that in. So more details to come. Just come to the tournament committee or come to the follow-up meeting that I have with the membership on the Wednesday. So you guys will be cued in if you want to know what's going on.
Thank you for saying fastest man and fastest woman on a few fronts. One, whenever I hear read or anything, people talking about that, it's always just fastest man. And I try to get them to say fastest person, but you included both. But I also like that you said woman, because a criticism I'm having of our league, we're a co-ed league. Anytime I hear male coaches or players talking about the female players, it's always girls. We have this one girl, this other girl's gonna be with our team. Like, these are grown women. None of the men players get called boys. Hey, we got this boy Bam Bam that we're putting on our roster. How well would that go over? So enough of the girl talk, guys. Enough of the girl talk.
Men and women.
Yeah, men and women, you know what I mean? We're a co-ed sport, and respect that and talk about it that way.
Exactly.
Period.
Well, since Neil brought up racial bias by calling me boy, Darnell, you have been embroiled in controversy over the last couple months. I don't, I can't say I know all the ins and outs. I'm actually, I'm so divorced. I don't even, I thought I'm still kind of surprised that you're as involved with the tournament as you are, right? Because of what I've heard that I believe you were like suspended from your position and stuff like that. I personally, I know, I assume I speak for Neil. We at the Deep Ball Blues show are totally behind you, offended, upset at what happened to you. I heard the call that, and I don't think you did anything out of line in that Zoom meeting with the powers that be. I believe you've always been targeted. I've talked about this on this show many times, that you personally have been targeted and are treated differently amongst the in the league than other people are. And I think this is just an extension of that. You didn't do anything to be suspended or whatever. So you have our undying support, no doubt about that.
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I appreciate you guys' support, and I don't mind you guys asking questions because I'm going to answer them. I was elected to. I told the people that were, when I was running for first VP, that I was going to be about the membership, and anything they wanted me to bring up, either to the said tournament committee or the said board, I was going to bring it up and be professional about it, and just be a voice and get answers for these guys, for you guys, for the membership. I felt I did nothing wrong. I'm not going anywhere. I'm very passionate about the sport. Yes, it's a cloud hanging over my head, but I look at it shall pass, and I'm hoping that it gets overturned, because like I said, I was just doing what was asked of me to do, and I did not call anybody out of their name or being disrespectful to anybody. I mean, some people mistake passion for anger. I wasn't angry at anybody, but I've experienced a lot in this sport. But again, I work hard. I work hard for my team, and I work hard for the organization, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And I just hope that once this is overturned, I can get back to what I love doing, is going to site visits. And yes, I'm gonna bring it up. As of right now, I have to come up with the money for my room. I hope it gets overturned, and we can have the board can settle it, because again, I didn't get any warnings and there's no history of me having ethics codes against me. So, like I said, people can learn to agree to disagree. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know. Like I said, there was nothing that I thought that I did wrong. Whether I understand it was a recorded call, I do understand the position I'm in, and what I did ask the tournament committee, and I also asked the board, and I understand the HIPAA law situations and all that stuff, but I did ask if most of the committees, except for the executive committees, I did ask if only this wouldn't have happened if the awards committee meeting would have been recorded. And then I would have been back and researched it. And then because if that would have been recorded, then I think this wouldn't have been the issue. And obviously the committee was not, the committee called the awards committee meeting was not recorded. And this was basically, if people don't understand what it's about, which I'm sure they do, it was about the trophy being, the World Series trophy being upgraded. And it was, it was told, that it was voted on by the committee, and then someone said it wasn't. So that's where it's at. But I hope it gets overturned by the General Assembly, because I feel like I didn't warrant any sanctions or anything like that. But Seth, I'm just suspended for site visits, but I'm still get to do my job. But yet they took the room away from me, so I have to come up with the money. I'm still doing my job. But
yeah, I wanted to touch on that too, because I don't know that people understand the significance of that. So for as long as I've been around the MBBA and the tournament committee, which is over 30 years now, the first vice president, who is the chair of the tournament committee, and the head umpire get their rooms covered while they are at the World Series, because they are doing so much work as like kind of a punishment, as part of this whole thing that Darnell is going through over code of ethics thing that was filed against him, they're taking that away from him. And so even though he's still going there to work as the first vice president for the week of the tournament, he, for the first time I've ever heard of in the history of our 40, nearly 50-year-old league, it's the first time ever first VP is being forced to pay for their own room. And that it's shocking to even hear that this whole thing went this far. But just like chiming in on my own to what Seth's showing you support. We definitely from the beginning have not felt like this is a situation where the punishment fits the crime that's
there was no crime.
I'm okay with saying that, but he's being punished. And
yeah, he is being punished.
Taking it even further, Darnell, something I told Seth right after all of this hit, for my own, like on a personal standpoint for me, because I've spent many years on the board of directors and many years on the tournament committee, and it's something I really want to get back to. And my not having gotten back to that sooner has had a lot to do with the financial situation I put myself in, quite frankly. And so getting out of it, wanting to, one of my number one things I want to do is get back involved on a bigger level with the league. I told Seth flat out that situation that you're going through makes me not want to get back involved. I'll always want to be involved with the MBBA. Makes me not want to be part of the board of directors. Like if two people have a disagreement now in a committee meeting, you're gonna get slapped with such a heavy, I don't.
And it wasn't even. I mean, disagreement. I mean, you talk about a little, just a little, nothing, man. I mean, nothing whatsoever. I mean, I've been in board meetings. I've been in, to faculty meetings. People discuss things, that sometimes there are, feathers that get ruffled.
I personally never would have walked away from that conversation thinking, man, I could be in trouble here. Somebody's go hit me with the code of ethics. It's like, I don't know. I just don't understand like how committee meetings could. The other thing I pointed out about this to Seth, that I feel like this now is being used the way the blindfold rule is being used on the field. This is the off the field version of the blindfold rule. Like, people, if they're worried about a player cheating, can ask the umpire to tape that particular player. And what that turned into is when it pisses a team off, now they're taping people that they know are totally blind sometimes, just simply to say, we're going to tape you too. And that's what this turned into. Oh, you're not going to talk to me in a way that I like in a committee meeting? All right, code of ethics coming at you. And that makes me not want to be involved on a political level with the league. Like it's craziness. I don't get it.
I'm going to take the high road here. There's, I mean, it has affected me emotionally, but like I said, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. I'm still going to, I'm not going to change. I'm not involved with any circles. I'll just put it mildly like that. I'm about the whole entire membership. Any team I will help, and then I will stand up for everything. I will stand up for myself because I've been, besides this thing that happened to me, I mean, in the league, you guys said, people think they can talk to me any way they want to talk to me, but that's not going to happen. And I have been, I'm just going to say it right here, didn't really care because this is your show, but I've experienced racism in the league. So, but I'm not going to, like I said, I just learned to take the high road, but I am going to stand up for myself and speak up for myself. And I'm going to do what's right for the league. And I love this game and I love the league. And like I said, I just hope I get exonerated and everything gets overturned and we can get back to business of me going out there and trying to get you guys the best cities in 24 and 25 and do the best I can for these 2 World Series that I didn't choose the cities for.
And I in that, right, I was, if Neil made the same comments to Steve that you made in that meeting, there's no issue, right? It is you, okay? And for whatever reason, people target you. And you said you've experienced racism. I have tagged it. I believe I've seen you experience racism. And I believe people target you because you are outspoken and you are Black. People can be irritated about that. Too damn bad. My question is, how does it get overturned? Right?
I
How
guess,
can people help it get
I
overturned? And what's
guess
the
it has to be at the
situation?
General Assembly.
Yeah,
I've been reading, and I was told that the General Assembly has to bring it up, and it has to be a vote at the General Assembly by the General Assembly or something.
I'm taking the words from former President Dan Green. But if anybody here feels the same way we do, and you want to show your support from Book, because I am happy. I was happy to hear that there was conversation of walking this back and trying to fix this, and I hope that's the case. I encourage that to be the case. But for the membership, if you want to support Book on this, show up at General Assembly. That's the only way you could really do it. Show up at General Assembly and voice your opinion. And that's the best way you could show your support in this situation. What?
I said, I was just going to say, unless you disagree with him.
then go practice.
Yes, it comes. I mean, 'cause I know Dave Benny, I think, had an issue, or somebody had an issue one time, and something was overturned at the General Assembly. I guess it's a vote or something. So a vote has to take place or whatever. So I just hope it gets overturned, and I can get back to working for the league and the sport I love and I'm passionate about.
And pay for his room. He's still doing his job.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Pay for his room. That's the right thing to do. He's still doing his job. If he wasn't doing his job, that'd be, it's like, you know what? This clown's not showing up, whatever. Pay for somebody else to do their job. But in this case, well, you made a mistake, so it's gonna cost you $1,100. Come on with that.
It should cost you guys a lot more, right? Again, I believe this is racially motivated. If he was not black, I don't think this would have happened. I as a national organization, I would think that Blake and Steve should be sued on some civil rights sort of thing. But again, it's a small organization. Wow. Nobody's going to do that. But I without a doubt, racial bias can't just be, allowed to go on, right? Hopefully we can get these guys out of office, right? But in the end, a message needs to be sent that we're not just going to target somebody because he's outspoken and he's black. That is wrong, right? That is wrong. So.
And I think by me doing things the right way and speaking on behalf of the league, and I mean, I'm not speaking out of line or anything like that. I just speak up what's right, because right is right and wrong is wrong. I speak up. I mean, they asked. I mean, that's why I feel like I'm in this position, because I love to run tournaments, but I'm also there for every team, every member. It don't matter whether you're black, white, purple, or whatever.
Right.
I want to just be there for everybody, and I want to do things the right way and help people. And I've shared our templates. I've shared different stuff that the Thunder does to every organization and stuff like that. If they want to use it as a template, or our organization has come down and helped people with workshops like the Chaos and the Archers. And we've helped the St. Louis Firing Squad. We've helped a bunch of teams. And, and whether it be my lead or our whole organization lead, but they've asked me, and I think we should, I'm always about doing things the right way. And like I said, I'm not going to stop talking. I'm going to keep speaking up for the membership. And like I said, and I know I know how to stay in my lane, but if I need to be corrected, I'll be corrected. But like I said, people can agree to disagree, just respect each other's opinion and come to a happy medium. And I don't think that's been done here.
No, and you worked too long to get this job to have it be, kind of cut out from under you.
And that's it.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to point out, as you said, he worked so long to get this job. That's the other side of this. Like, if it doesn't get overturned, he can't run for this position again next year. And it's a position he never set out. I know, Darnell, you never set out for a 2-year term. You would like to get in there and get your imprint on the position.
I would like to leave my mark on it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the other side of it. He can't run for the position again, if at least not next year.
No, and just backing up what you said, but I mean, there have been, many people on this show who have come on just talking about their beat ball teams, who've talked about how you've helped them. You know what I'm saying? Just out of the blue, just mentioning, Darnell Booker came down and helped us and stuff like that. So the evidence of your good deeds are all around us, right?
As Book was naming off like the different teams he's gone to, like I was thinking of the ones he was forgetting, like the South, our buddy Greg McDuffie with the Copperheads, man, South Georgia Copperheads. I know you've been down there helping them out.
Yeah, and I went to San Gabriel Panthers when I was in Vegas, and I helped those Vegas guys out. The LV 2020 and the Darren Keeper's team. I had some contact with them. And on my own dime and things of that nature. Sometimes we met halfway, but the majority of it is on my own dime, and that's because that's my passion. And I want to give people the resources I didn't have when we started our team in 2000. I want to give every team, whether it's a new team or whatever, they're out there. You guys want to give them my information, they can call me. I will give them resources that I didn't have. Chicago helped me out a little bit, JT and them, but as far as a lot of the resources, I want to give those guys as much help as possible. Besides still working. I mean, still been effective with my team, but I still like everybody needs to have some type of guidance and structure, and if they want to learn from me, or I'll be glad to help them. I'll be glad to help the dogs. Neil, I heard the dogs are starting up. I mean, I can send you guys the template that we have, stuff like that. So, I mean,
hey, Darnell, love you. Don't need your help. We was winning championships when you was still going over at the World Series.
No.
I'm just joking with you, Darnell.
See, I think you just targeted him because he's black.
Yeah, right. I did.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Never had a bagel. Never had a bagel, sir. 2-1 game. No bagel.
Oh man, that's a good note, I think, to wrap it up on and get Darnell to his lunch and back to work. But man, people, that if nothing else, you want to support Book on this, show up at General Assembly. Don't sleep on that.
Yes. Don't attribute any of my comments to Booker. Okay, I made comments that are not attributed to Booker. Right,
they're not going to be. I already know some aren't going to be well received, but none of that came from Booker. Oh, it's Seth and I. Seth and I are just sharing how we feel about the situation.
And so, Neil, I'm sure you'll get the results. We'll have the results out to you after the tournament. I can send you stats and first team who made all everything like that. So we'll make sure the Beat Ball Blues show get that information.
No, we're definitely doing I kind of liked the thought when I thought you were wrapping up on Saturday. It gave us all day Sunday to figure out what we're going to do.
We're busy.
Yeah, you'll be done early Sunday though.
Early
West Coast. So we're definitely going to recap the tournament, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure it out. Seth Thought I was going to see if we could try to go live for the first time on the YouTube channel next Sunday, recapping the show. But that's not a promise because I don't know if I could pull it off. But we'll look into it. I don't even know, Seth, you'll be available, and it would be out if you're not. But
okay,
that's a possibility. But either way, we'll recap this tournament. No,
Darnell Booker, you're getting out of here with only one controversial topic being brought up, but we'll have to have you on to bring up some more controversy.
Appreciate all what you guys do for Beat Baseball, and again, thanks for having me. And look forward to the Bonanza, and there should be some exciting games and competition next weekend. Thanks a lot for having me, you guys.
Good pleasure, man. Our pleasure. Thank you, Book. Thank you for being our friend. Thanks for always being there when we ask you to. Thank you for everybody that checked out the show. Make sure you show up at General Assembly to free Book. And that's it for this week. We will
hashtag free Book.
We will catch you next time around. Thank you, Frank Porter, for all the work you do. Thank you, Seth Dog. See y'all next time around. Peace out, everybody.